This is Mrs. Murphy, and today I'm going to just kind of explain the example I have online for you, of the example of the website, and how it uses Float and Clear to create a little bit of layout. Alright, so I have the file downloaded. Now, when you download this to view it, make sure you extract the files, because you won't be able to view the web pages if you don't. It will just show with no images or no style and all black and white and kind of lame looking. Alright, let's kind of show you what this looks like. So here's the index page, the home page. That's what this one is right here. And as you go through this, here I have a couple of links. And as you go through the pages, all three pages use the same layout and the same color scheme to kind of give it a consistent feel to it. And to do that, we use this link tag, which is linking all of the documents to the same style sheet. So now if I go to the next file, once again, it has the same exact style sheet in it. And that just gives it a little consistent feel to it. Okay, so within this file, I've got a header, that's this blue part up here. I've got a nav, and that's my links over here. Then I've got an article, and that's everything over on the right hand side. And the article has different paragraphs and images and lists, and however you want to, whatever content you want to put in yours, that is just fine. Okay, now I wanted to take you through a little bit of the CSS, just kind of to show you how this Float and Clear works. So I'm going to open up the CSS file so we can take a look. Alright, so in the body tag I just set my margin and padding, and I set it to 0 just because I wanted this blue square to reach the edges. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that if you want something different. Then I give it a color, and I just did something not quite black, but pretty close to black for my font. Now my H1 tag, that's this artificial intelligence up here, I gave it a text color and a shadow. The header and footer, I've given background colors. That's this blue part right here. And if you look, the footer has a blue part as well. And what I really wanted to get into was this nav. Okay, so the nav, I gave it a float left, and so it pushed all of my links over on the left-hand side. I did give it a width, that way it would know where to butt this content up against. So from here to here is going to be 100 pixels, because that's what we have specified in the width. Now to make these little button looking things, we have overridden the LI tag, and this padding, that's what actually sizes it. I give it a padding on each side so that there's 8 pixels all around it. I gave it a bottom margin. That way they would be spaced apart a little bit. If you don't have this bottom margin, then it just looks like one big square. Gave it a background color, and then the width is just the width of how big you want these links to be. For my unordered list, since these are styled with, and I'll go back and kind of show you that, since in my nav I have an unordered list, that LI is styling these list items. But there's also the UL tag that we can style as well, and that's what we're doing here. We're just saying we don't want any bullet points because it is a list, and we don't want any padding. Then I do give it a little hover, so as you notice that I hover over these links, it changes to the background color slightly. And you could change the text color, or if you underline, or whatever you wanted there. Now here, this one's kind of interesting. What this is doing is this is saying all of the links inside the unordered list inside the nav will have this particular style. So it's not styling all of the links on the page, only the ones in the nav. And it's just specifying that it doesn't want to be underlined, and that they're bold, and that they have a slightly different color. Okay, now the article, that's this on the right hand side. What I've done here is I've given it a left margin of 170 pixels. Now if you remember, the nav was 100 pixels, I think. Now I don't remember. Was the nav 100 pixels? Yes, the nav was 100 pixels. That way it just kind of pushes the article over a little bit. Now this right here I did a class for in. If you look in the HTML code, there's an image, and it has a class of content image. So that what I'll show you in the CSS now. So in my CSS, here I have a content image, and I wanted that to float to the right. That way I could have content kind of surrounding my images. Then I give it a margin. That way it gives it some space around it. Now I have this max width set at 100%. That's basically for phones. You don't want your pictures to be bigger than if you're viewing this page on a phone, you don't want the picture to exceed the screen size of a phone screen. So I put in this max width of 100 pixels. It would look pretty much the same without it. So that was it. I just wanted to give you a simple example of a layout for a website. That way you have some sort of reference to use on your final HTML project. Well, good luck with it, and we will see you around.